we are we are live. We are on the air right now. You're listening to Ivancast podcast. Hey everybody. The subject today is San Mei, singer, songwriter from Australia. Welcome to the podcast, San. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm very well. Thank you.
Yeah, this is awesome. This is crazy also, right? Like I
I
am in
know,
Ecuador,
yes.
thousands of miles away. You're in Australia, right? It's Friday over there, right?
Yes, it is Friday.
Yeah,
Friday
crazy.
afternoon. Yeah.
It's
I know
still
this is
Thursday here.
Yeah, okay. This might be the most far away country I've spoken to so far.
Yeah. Is this the first time you're talking or doing a podcast with a guy from Ecuador?
Absolutely. Definitely.
Yeah,
I think it's very cool.
Well, yeah, that's absolutely cool. You have two fans definitely here, me and my little daughter.
Oh,
We
great.
like
Good to know.
like your music. Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
So, what do you want the world to know about you? Can you tell us maybe like one or two fun and interesting facts about you, just to
Oh.
start with?
Oh. Fun and interesting.
Yeah,
Uh, hmm. I'm not too sure. Well,
anything.
I live in a very fun, beautiful place in the world. That's one thing.
Yeah.
I live in a city called the Gold Coast, and it's right
Uh-huh.
on the ocean. So we have some of the
Oh,
most beautiful beaches in the world here.
really?
So that's
Oh,
where I grew
cool.
up. So I'm very into outdoors and nature and the ocean, but we
Yeah,
also have really beautiful rainforests here, very close by
yeah.
too.
Oh, really? Cool. I live in the
Yes.
rainforest,
Oh, yeah, you
so
said that. That's amazing.
yeah, yeah. I'm
It
also
must
like a
be
nature
beautiful
person.
there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
beautiful,
Mm.
definitely. So, yeah, that's a cool thing. Never been to Australia, but I can imagine it's beautiful over there.
It is beautiful. It can be very hot. So, I mean, I don't know what it's
Oh
like in
yeah.
Ecuador though, so you
Is it
might be
summer
used to
now?
it.
Are you
It's,
having a very
well, we're winter at the moment. We're about to get into spring, but
okay?
where I live, it's
Okay.
it can get very hot. But it's a beautiful place to live. I love it.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome. So, why music, Sam? Like, when or why did you decide to become an artist and, not a dentist or politician or nuclear physicist? What was like this moment when you decided to, or did you know all your life like I want
Yeah,
to
it's
do music?
funny because I played music from when I was little. Like my
Yeah,
mum kind of made my sisters and I play piano when we were young,
yeah,
and I always hated it because I'm I'm not a very good student, and so I get
okay,
my attention span is very short. So
yeah,
I never loved it. So it's funny because it wasn't something I wanted to do when I was growing up. I was
okay,
actually very much into sport, so I played tennis competitively for
yeah, great.
years. So it probably
Mhm.
wasn't until after high school I made some friends who were musicians. It was like a group of musicians, and I just fell into it, I guess, and then realized that I kind of had a bit of a skill for songwriting, and then I just
Yeah,
fell in love with it, and then been doing it ever since. So I think I was a late bloomer, but I
yeah.
decided pretty quickly that it was something I wanted to pursue.
All right. So how long have you been making music now? You started in high
Well,
school.
for this project, San Mei, I
Hmm.
think it was 2014, maybe.
All right.
Um, so, I mean, I was in some bands and stuff before this project, but for
Yeah.
this project, it's been a few years now. So, been doing it for a little while now.
Hmm. That's awesome. I really like the video of your song "Cry,"
Thank
and I kind of like cars, so I think
you.
that nothing can go wrong if you choose a vintage Mercedes-Benz in beige color
Exactly.
to shoot
That's
a
it.
video, right?
Yes. I
Is
feel
that
like
your car?
that.
Do you drive that car in Australia?
No, definitely not.
No.
It
Mhm.
was a friend of uh, the videographer. He had
Uh-huh.
actually two vintage Mercedes, and I had to pick. I
Mhm.
was lucky; I got to pick between two. But I just
Oh,
loved that color. I think the other one was like a
that's so cool.
blue, but I liked this
Yeah,
one, and I think it's the coolest
yeah,
part
it's
about the video. Definitely.
yeah. What's the story behind this song and video?
Behind Cry.
Yeah.
Um, Cry. Oh, what's this song about? I think I was reflecting on the fact that when we're young, we're always trying to chase something, and we're always trying to be better and do better, and chase that thing that we love, whether it's a career
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
develop ourselves and everything. And sometimes I think we can just time can just fly so fast, and we just miss being young and appreciating being in the moment and being grateful. And I think the word cry came because I was going through a time where I was just feeling frustrated about where I was at in music and my life, and looking at what everybody else was doing and just feeling like just
Yeah.
complaining all the time. And so that's where that came from. It's like, just like, enjoy being young, just stop and like take a moment and just appreciate all the amazing things you can do when you're young, because it doesn't last
Yeah.
forever. So yeah, that's kind of what it's about. Just trying to just stop and breathe and appreciate where you are. Like, I think it's good to strive for things and strive to get better, but sometimes I think we just lose track of time doing that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I absolutely agree. I think this
Mm.
whole coronavirus time had also show us a little bit of that. What you
Mm.
are saying, maybe not to.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So I have this kind of a new segment here on the podcast, which is called Instagram pictures and videos that deserve more context.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I I
Okay.
I, I I was watching your synthesizers tutorial,
Oh,
and it
yes.
was really interesting. Can you explain our audience how to use synthesizers? Do you use a lot of synthesizers in your
Well, the thing
songs?
is, I was kind of making fun of myself because,
Yeah, I know, and I like that.
yeah, like I
You know,
told you, I started off on
yeah,
piano. But when it comes
yeah,
to synthesizers, as in, I don't know if people generally realize how complex they are, with
yeah,
all the different ways it can manipulate sounds, and just
yeah,
even understanding them, like it's like a whole new world. And so like I told you, I'm not a very diligent student, and so I've always been too
yeah.
lazy to really
Were you sent to the principal office of
no,
when you were?
I was a
Mm,
very good I was a very good child, but
okay.
it's like I would do well without having to try too hard, and so I just kind of coasted along.
Yeah. So not
But
a
yes,
not really a rebel.
no, 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 not at all.
Yeah.
Um,
All right.
yeah, so synthesizers is something I'm yet to really learn properly. So I just uh, test out what sounds good to me, even if I don't really know what I'm doing when I'm
Yeah.
making a sound. As long as it
Yeah.
feels right, that's okay with me, I think.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
So, but do you play? Because I've seen your pictures. You also play guitar and bass
Hmm.
guitar. So do you play by ear, or did you really like learn these instruments?
Um, so I probably know the piano the most, like I can read music and everything. With guitar, I did have lessons. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's not so much by ear. I should be a lot better at guitar. But sometimes it's hard to find time to like sit down and, practice
Yeah.
scales and everything.
Yeah.
So yes, guitar is my second. Actually, drums. I played a bit of drums as well. I learnt some of that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so I can play a little bit of a few things, which is
Yeah.
I can
Nice.
get
Bass
by with
guitar
that.
too,
Yeah.
no? Yeah.
Sorry.
Do you like playing bass guitar too?
I do. I don't really play it very often. I only play it if I'm writing parts for demos,
Oh,
or
okay.
every now and again in the studio if I'm like, I know what it should sound like. But I wouldn't be able to play it live. I'm not good enough to play bass live. It's a bit
Yeah.
of a hard instrument.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So tell us maybe a little bit about your bandmates. Do you call the May band, or do you have like a name? I
I was
don't know
calling them.
exactly.
I was calling them
Yeah.
Band May for a while, but
Okay.
yeah. So I've got a guitarist. So he
Yeah.
plays lead guitar, and then I have a
All
bass
right. Cool.
player and a drummer. So we're like a full band setup.
Yeah. So you're like a
Um,
full band setup, and
yeah,
when you have a live gig, you all play together, right?
yeah. So tonight, actually, I'm playing a show in a few hours.
Oh, really?
It's just me and my
Nice.
guitarist though, so we're playing to some
Cool.
like backing tracks as well. So it might be a little bit karaoke, but that's okay. At the
Yeah.
moment, we can't play like obviously big gigs. So it's like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
audience
yeah.
will be sitting down. So we thought we might just make it a
Nice.
bit of a smaller um, band. So it's just the two of us tonight.
That's cool. But
So
things are getting back to normal. So you're already playing live shows, right?
yeah, well, so this is
All
my
shows.
first show since COVID happened. I did
Yeah.
have one, well, I do have one currently, end of September, but I just saw on the news today that they've brought back some more restrictions on the Gold Coast because I think we had a few more cases. So we were going back to normal. I don't know what's happening anymore because today they've just announced
Yeah.
no more than 10 people gathered. So I don't think yeah, I'm going to have to wait and see what's happening with my gigs. So that's a
Yeah.
shame,
Awesome.
but yeah.
Sounds great.
Mm.
Um, so what's been like the highlight so far in your musical career? Is there a moment that you really like to remember, like the highlight so
Mm.
far?
That's a hard question because I had a really great year last year. I did
Yeah.
so much touring just in
Uh-huh.
Australia, just supporting some really great bands. But I think probably the most exciting thing I've done so far is I played South by Southwest in the USA,
Hmm.
which is like,
Oh,
I'm
cool.
sure you know it, yeah, the Showcase
Yeah.
Festival. So that was one of the best experiences I've ever had. Like, I think the excitement of playing in another country and the festival itself is quite, you know,
Yeah.
exclusive and exciting to be invited to play. So that was like a great time. A lot of people told me that it was, too hectic, too chaotic, and stressful playing that festival, but we had a great time. So, yeah, that was definitely a highlight for me. We actually went back there to play this March just gone, and as soon as we landed in the USA, they cancelled the festival, so we had to just come home.
Oh no.
So that
Yeah.
was pretty sad, but I hope we get to play again soon, like next year or whenever we
Cool.
can next.
Cool. Um, let's talk about your sound now.
Mm.
Like, what's I was wondering, like, how do you write your songs? Like, how's the creative process of writing, recording your songs? Where
Mm.
does the inspiration come from? Do you have like a your own home studio or something like that, or do you go to a
Yes,
real studio?
I have a little home setup, so I have just very basic to make demos. Um, I used to always just sit down in front of the computer and use my program Logic, and
Yeah.
just like I would usually create a drum beat loop, um,
Hmm.
mostly just to get myself into the right energy, and then I would usually just try and play a guitar or bass riff and build it from there. So that's how I've
Hmm.
always done it, and I've always been quite hands-on with producing the song as I go. So writing all the parts, creating the sound and everything as I'm writing the song. But lately, I've been challenging myself to just write on my acoustic guitar, which is harder than it sounds. Because I guess my music isn't really like folky or that kind of thing. So yeah, I just found that it makes me write a better song because if it can sound good on acoustic guitar and nothing else, then it's a good
Yeah.
song.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what I've been doing lately, and it's going pretty well. And I think it's
Hmm.
making me a better songwriter. Yeah. So
Nice.
once
And
I
you like
do
making?
that, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. 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 No, go on.
Oh no, I was just going to say. So my demos are usually quite fully formed, and then I'll go into professional studio when it's time to record.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Cool. And you also enjoy making videos, right? You have a lot of live streams and
Yeah,
things like that. Do you enjoy
I
being on
do.
the?
Yeah, I didn't
Hmm.
used to. Um,
Hmm.
I was actually quite bad at you know doing anything on social media. But
Yeah.
some of my team were like, "You need to start using social media so people like know about you or can
Yeah.
connect with
Yeah.
you." So I was a bit reluctant, but I just did it, and now I really love it. And I found that my audience really connect with me more and will
Yeah,
message me more and just engage more with what I'm doing. And I think it's nice for them to just see my personality. And
cool.
yeah, so I found something that I love, and it's just making like silly videos and doing
Yeah,
live
yeah, that's what I
streams.
really enjoy.
Um,
That's really cool. Yeah,
yeah,
and
and
I
just
can
having
totally
fun.
relate to.
Mm,
Yeah, because I also never like to share like any private stuff on the
yeah,
web, but
yeah,
then all of a sudden I'm also making a podcast, and probably
yeah,
I'm gonna start making crazy videos too. So
yeah. Right. It's
uh,
good. It's good.
yeah, it's good. Sure, yeah, I
Yeah.
like that part of the web, the
Mm,
craziness of the internet. It's a crazy place.
yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, but it's almost like a must nowadays if you make art and music.
Mm,
Post internet art. It happens all on the web
yeah.
too.
I think I, for so long, was like, I just want to make music. That's all I want to do. But I accepted that it's like this is a big part of it is to
Yeah,
have an online
yeah,
presence. So I've
yeah.
accepted it and I've embraced it.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I don't think there is a turning back point from that.
No.
And I don't know. Are you with your cell phone right now? Because I also wanted to
Yes, I
have a
am.
look. I think it's interesting this exercise to look at pictures and try to describe them on the podcast
Yeah, that's cool.
for the audience. That's cool, right? It's this new segment here around here. It's from 2019, the 20th
Hmm.
of December. You're sitting in a park. It looks like a very nice big park with I think with your friends. I don't know if they are your bandmates too. Um, uh, is that the place where you live? It looks really nice. Just wondering,
Oh,
it's like
right. Yeah,
like
yeah.
a
Oh,
normal
yes.
chill day. Yeah,
And there's like the ocean in the background.
yeah, yeah.
It's like
The
a
ocean.
nighttime photo. Yeah, so that is a
So
really
it's that the way
popular.
we can imagine life over there. Yeah,
That's like the perfect way. So where we're
yeah,
sitting there is like a big park on the ocean.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
it's called Burley Hill. So everybody goes down on the weekend, and you can sit there, and everyone just has picnics and barbecues.
yeah. That's
And it's
cool.
funny because in Australia, you're not allowed to drink on the street or in outdoors. But for this
Oh,
hill, they
really?
just like turn a blind eye and they just let you like have drinks and food and have fun, and it's very
Yeah,
strange. But
cool.
yeah, it's probably every weekend we're down there. Just it's such a beautiful
Nice.
looking over the city and the ocean. It's
Yeah,
very nice.
looks
Yeah.
pretty good.
Mm.
Looks really awesome. Yeah, it reminds me of I lived in Germany like 12 years,
Oh
and
wow.
all our summer nights used to be like we used to do like the same thing. So when you go to a bar, what do you drink? What do you drink when you go to a bar
Mm.
or when you sit on that nice park?
I love wine. Wine is
Wine.
my
Yeah.
thing. I love wine. I love gin.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, I used to like beer, but I just can't stomach it anymore. So I just stay on the lighter stuff. I do like whiskey actually. I'm a whiskey fan.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Um, oh, and I just started getting into tequila, which I never liked before. But
Huh, margaritas.
yeah, margaritas. Like every
Margaritas.
weekend is margaritas.
Yeah, they're really good.
So yeah,
Yeah, margaritas and music, making videos on the web.
yeah,
Sounds like a good plan.
yeah,
So what's coming up next? You have a new single, right? Your single is already also
yeah.
online. Midnight,
Mm,
really nice video too. It gets like in sort of another direction, right?
yeah.
Um, can you tell us something about Midnight?
Yeah, so Midnight, that's just like a standalone single. So it's not really a part of another EP or anything.
Oh, okay.
But
Mm,
I wrote this song, it was actually probably over a year ago. And it took that long to get it to where it is. I think
yeah.
um, it has a kind of, some of it's a bit 1960s feeling, like the melodies and the chord progressions. And so I was having trouble recording it so that it fit in with all my other songs and didn't
Uh-huh.
feel too out of place. So it took a while. We took like 2 rounds in the studio and then spent lots of time at home trying to work it out. But eventually got it came together, and I really love it now. And it's special to me because I don't know if you saw in the press release, but it's like it's about my mum who passed away. So I wrote this as kind of a tribute to her. So yeah, it's very special to me. It's been out for a couple of weeks now, 2 weeks. Yeah. So it's nice to have it out in the world now that it
Nice.
took
Yeah.
so long.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. So, talking about artists, musicians that have maybe shaped your
Mm.
life, your music. What are some of your heroes, musically speaking? What do you
Mm.
like to listen? What are you listening at the moment? Maybe we can check your
Well,
Spotify playlist.
yeah. So who am I listening to at the moment? I don't know if these not necessarily have all shaped me, but the ones I'm listening to at the moment are Cherry Glazer. I don't know if you've heard of her from
No,
America.
I don't think so.
Uh,
Mhm.
Tame Impala, I love. The
Yeah, they're
Strokes.
great. Yeah, The Strokes. Yeah,
Yeah, big fan
cool.
of the Strokes. Wolf
Yeah.
Alice, I don't know if you've heard of them. They're from
Uh-huh.
England.
Mm,
A bit of Arcade Fire, and
awesome band.
do you know
Absolutely.
Grimes?
Um,
She's
I
from the States.
don't think so.
She's a pretty crazy artist. Yeah, I've got lots of different, like very different artists that I listen to, but I think
Mhm,
probably early on, I would say that like Karen O from the Yeah Yeah Yeahs is probably a big hero of mine.
mhm,
Um,
mhm.
I love Metric. I love. I don't know if you've heard this band called the Kills, not the Killers. They're just called the Kills. It's like a duo from the
Kills.
States.
No,
Yeah, so
never heard of.
just I think I'm just drawn to like strong female front women who are playing um, yeah, that kind of guitar music that I love, and just watching them do that really well and confidently. Um, yeah, so I have a whole bunch of different influences, and I don't even really know. I couldn't pinpoint and say that's my influence. I think I take
Yeah.
things from different artists. Like, for example, Bon Iver. I don't sound anything like him, but I've looked at his melodies and thought they're so unique, and he's
Uh-huh.
found a really special way of saying things. And so I take those elements from different artists, even if I don't
Yeah.
sound anything like them. Yeah.
Great. Awesome. So, Midnight is out now. Your latest single.
Mhm.
Can we expect more music this year? Maybe an EP or LP? You have actually a record deal. No, you work with a record
Yeah, so I
label from
signed to
Australia. Yeah.
a record
Mhm.
label
Yeah.
last July. That was my first ever
Nice.
signing.
Is it a good experience? Would you
I've had the
recommend our?
best experience, yeah. And like,
Yeah.
when you're an independent artist, you only hear really bad stories about
Yeah. Yeah.
record
That's what I wanted to
labels.
say. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. But I'm very lucky with this label. They just said to me, "We love what you do. We just want to be there for the journey." And so
Yeah.
they're always just
Cool.
letting me do basically whatever I feel is right for me. And they do have input and they're very helpful. But at the end of the day, they're like, "This is up to you," you know,
Cool.
creatively. So I'm very, very lucky. Yeah.
Sounds great.
Mm.
Sounds amazing. So, um, I would like to end the show with some. I don't know if you want, of course. We can make some quick fire questions. You know this.
Oh
Just
yeah, yeah.
quick questions, short answers. San, what takes too much of your time? Is there anything that takes just too much of your time?
Oh, quick fire, hey. Too much of my time. Um, there's lots of
Instagram,
things.
maybe.
Instagram, yeah, making Instagram videos. I
Yeah,
think
it takes a lot of time, right?
Yeah, I think all the like
Yeah,
business side of music and social
yeah.
media and everything takes up more time. I'd like to just only be sitting around dreaming and making music, but all the business side of things can take up a lot of time. Also, I found a really good show on Netflix that I'm addicted to, and I like
Oh,
have
yeah.
to tear myself away. So that takes up too much of my time as well.
Did you have a childhood comfort object when you were a child?
Comfort?
Or yeah, a comfort object, like maybe a teddy bear or
Oh,
maybe an imaginary friend?
I had like
Mm.
no, I had like a scarf or something.
Yeah,
I called it Gaga. Yeah, I just remembered that
it had
now.
a name. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I remember that. I remember what it looked like too.
Are you a superstitious person? Would you
No,
consider
I
yourself superstitious?
don't think I'm superstitious. Sometimes I question things because things can happen very strangely, but generally, no.
Yeah. Have you ever thought? I mean, I don't know if you eat meat, but have you ever thought about going vegan or vegetarian?
Oh,
Are you a
okay,
vegetarian?
no, I'm not. I'm a meat
No.
eater. I love
Yeah.
animals,
Me
and I
too.
always feel
Me
guilty
too.
because I think I should be a vegan because I love
Yeah.
them so much. But I
Yeah.
can't. I can't give it up. I can't give up meat. I love it so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe one
What-
day,
What's
but
your
mm.
What's your favorite food? What do you eat? What do you eat over there?
I love Japanese food. I love
Japanese.
Italian food.
Yeah.
I could just eat mashed potatoes every day. uh, yeah, I love lots of food. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll eat anything.
Is there something you like to do the old-fashioned way? Like, I don't know, maybe listen to vinyls, or is there anything you
Old
like to do the
fashioned way.
old-fashioned way? Or
Um,
driving vintage cars or something?
unfortunately, I don't have a vintage car. What do I like doing? That's a good question. The old fashioned way.
Yeah.
Um, I think I miss being young and the excitement of like if it, in terms of music, I guess buying music
Uh-huh.
and um, waiting for that song that you love to come on the radio and like record it onto a tape. That's how old I am. That's what I used to do. And just like, yeah, I think music felt so exciting because it wasn't as easy to access. And I'm really
Yeah.
grateful. Like I'd probably rather be able to just play anything on Spotify when I want to. But I think
Yeah.
there's like some kind of magic to all of that that I
Yeah.
kind of miss. So that's one thing that, yeah.
Yeah. Sen, thank you so much for your time.
Well,
This
thank
was
you for
fun. Did you
having
have
me. Yeah.
fun?
Yeah, it was a great time. Thank you. Great
Yeah, I
question.
actually have one last question, which is a really silly question. It's a goofy
Okay.
question, but I thought
Okay.
this may be fun. Have you ever taken your bath products with you before you check out of a hotel room? You know,
Every
like those
time.
those mini
Every,
shampoos and
okay. Nobody loves free things the way I love
yeah.
free things. So
Oh, really?
even if I don't want them, I'm like, I have to take them because they're they're complimentary. Actually, I also learned because last year I did so much touring. It's
Yeah.
actually really convenient and handy to have those hotel soaps and shampoos because they're so small.
Absolutely. Right.
And
Yeah.
I'm only like away for a weekend, so when I tour, I can just like chuck it in the bag. So it's nice to have free things and nice to have small convenient items to take away. So yeah,
Yeah. All right. Thank
cool.
you so much.
Well,
It
thank you so
was a
much for
pleasure.
having me. Great to
Yeah,
meet you.
everybody go and check out San Mei on. You are also everywhere on the web, right? Where can people find your music, support you?
Everywhere, yeah. YouTube,
Everywhere. No.
Spotify, Apple Music,
Yeah,
uh, anywhere.
at San Mei Music, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
All right, cool, awesome.
Cool. Thank you so
Have
much.
fun. You have a concert tonight, right?
Yeah,
Probably.
I'm a little bit nervous, but it should be
Yeah.
fun.
Okay, should be good. And I hope to see some video,
Yes,
probably
yeah, hopefully
on
someone
Instagram.
videos
Mhm.
it.
Cool, nice.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you. Have a good,
See
great
ya.
day. Bye.